Hi everybody, it's Dorothy Kilty, and this is the design team project on Dear Julie Julie for November. And I'm using the Antique Daisies digital kit and ephemera. This is a gorgeous kit. It has a lot of little pieces, which is great for like doing decoration, collaging, things like that. Also, it's just beautiful. And daisies just mean kind of happiness to me. So let me show you what I'm doing to start with. Okay, so this is a journal, and it's a zigzag flippy flop journal. And the reason I'm doing this, I'm making this early because it's for a friend of mine. Okay, so we have a bunch of pockets here that we've done, different kinds of pockets. Some of them have things in them and some of them don't. So we're going to need to fill the pockets, and then we're also going to need to put a closure on the top. So this is the back, and now we turn around and we go back the other way. Okay, I wanted there to be some space for writing. I also want there to be some encouraging type or happy things, grateful things, you know, because this is November, Thanksgiving is here, and so we should be grateful for things. Now, what I've done for the closure, I used my crocodile to punch a hole on this side, but I don't have the long crocodile, so I couldn't reach in to do this one. So what I did is I just took my awl and I just punched a hole through it, and then I took a button that has a metal holder on the button, and I put one of these bulb pins through it, so that holds the button on, okay? And then what I'm going to do is use elastic. So this is a, I don't know what it is, 24-inch pieces of elastic. This journal, by the way, is about 5 by 5. I got the paper for it from the inside of cards are inside fat quarters, quilting fat quarters. So I'm just putting this on, similar to the way we do tags a lot of times, where you put them through. And then one of the tricks that you can use is, which I'm actually going to do, because I want this to be more secure. So if you take this and you do a twist and make a little loop, and now you put these through here, it makes a kind of a knot, and it makes that tie more secure. This works great on tabs too. Tags, I mean. Okay, so now we have that there, and we kind of have it knotted in place. Now this is just going to go around to the back of this, because, you know, honestly, either side could probably be the front or the back. And then I'm going to come around here. I don't want to stretch this too much, but I want it to be snug. But it's going to be tighter as I put more journaling cards and ephemera and stuff in the pockets. So the elastic will allow it to stretch. And this also means that if the person who gets this, you know, puts, let's turn this over, puts more things in it, it's still going to be able to close. Okay, so we have these. Oh, come on, knot. Now, if you have any doubt that your knot is going to close tight and be good, then you can put a little glue on it to help hold it in place. And I'm actually going to pull this just a tiny bit, okay? And then on these, I'm going to add some beads on these, but I'm not going to do it till later, okay? I calculated, or I counted up, that I need, oh, where did I scribble it down? Must have been another, I need about 20 fillers for about 20 pockets, and about 5 to 7 of those are going to be small. Okay, so one of the things I've done here is, first of all, I've cut out all kinds of things, but I clean my desk onto catalog pages. So this is just a catalog that came in the mail. And I clean my desk off with little strips onto that. And then they can be put, cut up into tags or whatever you want. Now, because these may be tags, but they need to be smaller because this 5x5 journal is not going to take huge things. So probably, 3 inches is going to be the biggest. Now, what I've done is I put some ledger paper on the back so that covers up the other catalog page, and it also can be a writing surface. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is about 2.5 inches here, give or take, and I'm going to just slice these up. So I'm going to, let's do this one first. We'll come over, I'm going to come over 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches here. Now, one of the things you'll find on ledger paper and things like that is the lines are not necessarily straight. Also, I may not glue them straight. So you have to decide if you want to square them up to the lines or if you're going to let the lines be crooked. So what I have done here is I have, I'm sort of putting this onto a line, and I can see here about where the line comes through, here and here, okay? And so I'm going to cut on my line, okay? If I need to square them up, I'll do that. And now I'm going to cut this one. This is about 2 inches, so I'm going to cut these by 3 inches, 2 by 3. You can cut these down. You can add another backing on them to make them bigger. You can do whatever you want to change the size if you decide you don't like the size once you get it done. This is about 4 inches, but I'm going to leave it. Okay, this one, let's see. I'm going to do about 4 inches on these. Let me open this up. So there's 4 inches. I'm going to slide it over and cut on this line. There's nothing about this that says it has to be the exact size. Okay, and now this is, let's do 3 here, about a little over 3, 3 1/4, and that, okay? And this one, let's do about 3 1/2 here. I have a blue line on. I'm going to cut on the blue line. Okay. And this is now 6 1/2 inches. So let's go ahead and do a little over 3. Again, I have a blue line. I'm going to line up on that blue line. Okay. Do the same thing with this. Let's start with this line. This looks like a good line. And I'm doing these pretty random, as you can see. I'm going to cut these, this is about 2 inches. And our journal is 5 inches. So let me get, okay, this is fine. So let me cut this first. I'm going to make these into tags. So I want them to be maybe a little bit longer. Let's try 4 inches. And this will be 4 inches. And now this might be one of those little bitty ones that I was talking about I needed. Okay, let's do 3 1/2, 3 1/4. Let's do 3 1/4. Like I said, I'm doing this very random. And let's see, 3 1/4. Line it up on that blue line, more or less. Now, one thing you have to be careful, depending on how careful you are with gluing things down, or if it dries a little bit, you do it. You want to make sure that all the edges are glued down as you go through it. So now these are substrates, okay? We're not so much looking at what is on this size, because we're going to put pretty things that goes with the journal on it, okay? So I have cut out a whole bunch of little things from this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous digital. And so we'll just see what fits where. These can be, it could be like a collage. You can just cover it up if it's the right size. So for example, this one here, if we put it on here, let me try and center it here a little bit. Coming in a little bit because this is from the edges, because this is bigger than the tag is. So we'll just, you know, glue this, put glue all over it here. And, oh, it's not working. Why is that not working? Oh, well. Anyway, we'll just put this over it. I'm going to put it down towards the bottom. And then we'll trim it to size. Okay, and then we'll cut these corners off to make them a tag shape. Okay, so here we go. By turning this over, I get the corners to balance. You can write on the back of this, no problem. We have this. If you don't like this, it can be cut off, just like this. Okay, so because those catalog pages are so flimsy, gluing these pages down makes a little bit thicker substrate, which makes these a little bit more. Now, we don't have to just cover everything up. We also can use some of these for a collage. So let me find a, okay, so this is really pretty. This would make a pretty focal point for this collage. And I am not cutting this out really close. I'm going close to around the edge. This is the less fussy cutting, okay? And what I'll do when I get there is use ink along the edges, which will help this help it kind of blend in with the background. Okay, so we already have on here some background papers for the collage. So let me get my ink out. Thought I had it so handy and it's kind of got buried, but okay. So I'm just going to take this and, well, I'm going to finish cutting this out. Didn't I finish that already? Okay, so that sort of helps that white edge fade away a little bit. Okay, so now we have that. So what else would help this collage? Well, we can use a little bit of this this tape. This is a, well, it wasn't a 1901 calendar. It was a calendar from one of those same years. So I think it was in the 60s someplace. It has the things on it that was on the 1901 calendar. So it's really super cool. And I used some of the numbers for different things. And okay, so now we can go. I didn't stick it down, and that's good because I want to take a little bit of this paper. This was, I received this in Happy Mail. It's some sort of a tissue paper, and it's been coffee or tea dyed, something. And what I like to do with it is just crinkle it up. I'll lift this up a little bit. Now I also like handwriting to come through a little bit, so we'll do that. And now we'll put that down. Okay, so that gives us a little more background. I think we need something down here to balance this a little bit. So what do we think? Nope, I don't want that. Let's look at the scraps that I have in here. This is a little bit of, it's a graph paper, but it's got pink lines, which I thought was super interesting. And I think I got it in the same Happy Mail that I got that other paper. So we're gonna come over like this. Okay, so we're adding this. And then we can put this on top. So we have a little bit of music paper showing through other papers, and it's completely random. I like to, when I just clean off my desk onto those pages. So what goes on them could be anything. Okay, so now we'll add this Digi from Julie. And now we have a card. So we'll put this, excuse me, over in the finished pile. So this one has a little bit of edge stuff and some music paper. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and use this. Now this time, I'm not gonna fussy cut, I'm gonna fussy tear, which is much sloppier. And so this other music paper will be, well, I think kind of interesting with the contrast with the darker and more caramel colored music paper that's already there. So, okay. So again, I'm going to ink the edges. Okay, this will be our focal point, so we still need to add some other things around here. This time, what do I want to add? I want to add line paper. Okay, this is a piece left over from one of Julie's digitals. It is, might be vintage lace, but I'm not sure. Have to look it up and see. Anyway, I'm using that some places, so let's see. If we put that over on this side, okay, so most of it will be covered up and not show. Generally speaking, you should ink before you glue, before you put the glue on. And I forgot. So let's see if we can get a little bit of ink without getting too much glue on my fingers. The one thing about Fabri-Tac glue, or Fabri-Fix, either one, is that it does stay wet a little bit longer. So that gives you a little bit of time to make up for your mistakes. What else do I have here? You know, we have these cute little bitty cutouts. And for the most part, I haven't cut out the teeny tiny ones. I thought I'd cut those out as I need them because I didn't want them to get lost. Okay, so here's a little card. Let's put this down here. Let's see how that's looking. Okay, I think I want, see if we like it up there better. That's kind of pretty like that, I think. let's put this stamp and ink around the edge. So these are just all Julie's Digitals, a floss stamp, a little copy of a playing card, and that. I think that looks pretty good. So we're going to put this down here. Like, move it up just a tiny bit. And then we'll ink around the edge of this. You can see how tiny they are. This is like 3/4 an inch by an inch. When I'm making postcards, I always have to go back and make sure that I've really glued things down well, because I can get just a little bit sloppy with my gluing sometimes. Okay, we'll just put that more or less in the center, a little bit towards the left. I like things that are asymmetrical rather than, you know, just flat centered. This kind of looks centered though. Does it look like it's off? And if it does look off, you can just trim an edge. Okay, there we go. So that's 3 done. Another thing that you can do is take some of these cards. This is nice, but it's a little bit flimsy, and it doesn't have any lines. Now, it doesn't have to have lines. You can write on plain paper just fine, but if you want it to be a little bit stiffer, you can just put something on the back. So here, let's just take this graph paper, put it here. The glue also helps stiffen it up and make it a little bit easier. Now, you can use like your Scotch Create or Yoo-Hoo glue stick on this as well. Another thing that you can do, which I like to do, is you can take it and you can just move it slightly. Now what this does is push more of the glue towards the edge and spread it around a little bit. Okay, so we can cut this off. I want to round these corners using my corner rounder, but I don't want to do it until after this is dried a little bit. Okay, so there we go. Now that can be a journaling card. It can also be folded in half. You can take something like this, which is just a piece of the ledger paper, and fold it in half, and then fold this in. Now this will fold out when people get to it. I'm going to tear this off like this. Okay, let's just ink up some edges here, and then we'll decorate this a little bit, and that'll be something we can stick in some pockets. So just creating a whole bunch of cute ephemera that we can stick in. Okay, I'm doing it this way because I want the numbers to be right side up. It's also a good idea to take your bone folder and, you know, train the edges pretty well. Okay, so this is going to open up. It can be glued down, or it can stick in a pocket. And let's decorate it up a little bit. This is cut out. This is cut out. I did, oh, I have this. Okay, now, I changed my mind, and I'm going to put this on the top. And the reason I'm going to put this on the top, this was actually printed on photo paper. And so if I glue it down like this, it becomes a little bit of a latch to help hold it closed. So let's take and put glue along this half of it. Okay, and then we want to look and see where it can go. We want to make sure that we're not gluing this whole thing together. Okay, so now I'm just going to hold this down for a second, and I'm going to decorate the front of this. So we have these little bitty designs that came out of the ephemera pack, and these are, for something small like this, these are just lovely little embellishments. So once again, the unfussy fussy cutting, and put it around the edge, and we can put it here. Let's give it a little bit more of a background. Oh, I have this. This is just a word stamp stamped on fabric, and then it can be part of you could sew it down or glue it down in such a way that this becomes a pocket, which would be cute. Actually, let's just do that. Okay, teeny tiny pocket. Okay, now I like to have these raw edges. Okay, where they're fraying and everything. I think that really adds interest to it. Okay, pull these threads out. This was, I think, an old sheet I found someplace. It was just worn out, but that makes it nice and soft. Okay, this is the back off of that tape, but it also can make a pretty little edge. I want it to be thinner, so I'm just tearing some off. No such thing as trash and junk journaling, right? I'm going to put it on this side for two reasons. The other side is a little bit shiny because that's where the glue was. And so I think the shininess will kind of be a decoration. Okay, and now let's put this here. I'm actually going to take this up so it makes a really teeny tiny pocket. Okay, let's see what else I've got. I cut out most of the things, but not everything. Okay, here is part of that calendar, and the back is this kind of cool color. And I think what I'm going to do is take this, I forget what these are called, numbers card, and I'm going to glue it on this side so that you'll have a plain back. So let's put it over here. Like I said, I like numbers in whatever form they come, whether it's off an old calendar or like a digi that Julie has created. Okay, let's make sure I'm not gluing this together. The reason I'm cutting that off is because it's got some glue on it. I don't want it to glue this whole little tuck together. Okay, and then we'll put this right in here. Obviously, I was sloppy with my gluing. This isn't going to fit. Okay. Need something narrower. Well, let's do this. I have the baseball game on in the background. I have the sound turned off, but I can watch and see Which Texas team? There we go. There we go. So now we put that under here. This is dry now. And so we have that. So I'm going to continue to create different inserts and stuff to put in here. And then we'll do a final flip through of the whole journal. Thank you.